Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in life when the present feels overwhelming and the future seems uncertain. But in those very moments, there is a force at work, shaping you, molding you, and preparing you for more. Whether you see it or not, life is moving you closer to your purpose, aligning you with greater opportunities, and unlocking potential you've yet to discover. Today, let us explore the truth that the challenges you face are not just random events, they are purposeful, meaningful, and necessary steps in your divine preparation. Every challenge is a stepping stone, a deliberate opportunity to shape you into the person you are meant to become. Often when faced with adversity, it's tempting to view it as an obstacle meant to hinder your progress or as a punishment that feels unjustified. However, challenges are neither accidents nor coincidences. They are precisely placed in your path to stretch you, to mold you, and to strengthen your resolve. These moments of difficulty hold within them a power that is invisible to the naked eye, a power to transform you in ways you may not yet understand. Think about the growth of a tree. It begins as a tiny seed, buried beneath the weight of the soil. That seed faces resistance from every direction. The earth presses down on it, the darkness surrounds it, and yet it doesn't stop pushing upward. It doesn't complain about the weight it carries or the darkness it endures. Instead, it uses that resistance to build strength, growing roots that anchor it deeply into the ground. In time, that same seed emerges as a tree, strong and unshakable, capable of withstanding storms. Your challenges are much the same. They are the resistance needed to build your foundation, the storms designed to test your roots, and the pressure that compels you to grow upward. When life throws challenges your way, it's not an act of cruelty, it's an act of preparation. Each challenge is crafted to teach you something specific, to reveal a new layer of strength you didn't know you had. It's as if life is saying, you're capable of more than you think, and yet that more can only be uncovered through the process of struggle. It's in those moments of resistance that you learn resilience, adaptability, and the ability to persevere. These qualities don't appear overnight, nor do they come from a life devoid of difficulty. They are forged in the fire of hardship, and they are what prepare you for the next level of your journey. Consider for a moment the weightlifter in a gym. The process of building muscle involves repeatedly lifting weights that challenge the body, pushing it to its limits. It's uncomfortable, even painful at times, but the discomfort is what signals growth. Each repetition breaks down muscle fibers, creating micro tears. It is through the process of repair that the muscles grow back stronger. Without the weight, without the resistance, there would be no growth. Life operates in much the same way. The challenges you face are the weights you are meant to lift. They are heavy, yes, and they may leave you feeling fatigued, but with each repetition, with each challenge you overcome, you become stronger, more capable, and more prepared for what lies ahead. What often gets overlooked is that challenges also refine your perspective. When you encounter difficulty, you're forced to reevaluate your priorities, your values, and your approach. It's easy to take things for granted when life is smooth, but adversity has a way of sharpening your focus. It compels you to ask important questions. What truly matters? Where am I placing my energy? Am I moving in alignment with my purpose? These questions are not burdens, they are gifts. They force you to examine your life in ways you might otherwise avoid. And through this examination, you gain clarity and insight that guide you toward a deeper understanding of yourself and your path. The most remarkable thing about challenges is how they prepare you for what's to come. Imagine being given a task that requires immense strength, patience, or wisdom. If you haven't developed those qualities, the task will overwhelm you. But if you face challenges that required you to build those traits, you'll find yourself ready and capable. You'll look back at the struggles you endured and realize they were the exact training grounds you needed. But what once seemed unbearable becomes the reason you're able to handle greater opportunities and responsibilities with confidence and grace. Challenges are not random acts of chaos. They are deliberate and meaningful. They are placed in your life at specific moments for specific reasons. While they may feel overwhelming in the moment, they are never without purpose. In fact, the greater the challenge, the greater the potential for growth. Life doesn't place mountains in your path to stop you. It places them there to teach you how to climb. And with every climb and with every step, you discover a strength you didn't know you possessed. This strength, this newfound resilience, becomes the foundation upon which you build the next phase of your life. Your current situation is temporary. It's easy to feel trapped in the present, especially when it's marked by struggle, stagnation, or uncertainty. When the days feel heavy and the path ahead appears unclear, it's tempting to believe that where you are now is where you will always be. But this is an illusion. The truth is, life is constantly evolving, and so are you. The circumstances you face today, no matter how difficult or limiting they may seem, are not your final destination. They are part of a process, a stepping stone toward a future that is greater than you can currently imagine. Think of life as a river, always moving, always flowing. The water you see at one moment is not the same water you see the next. It's constantly in motion, shaping the land, carving new paths, and transforming its surroundings. Your life is like that river. Even when it feels as though you're stuck in one place, there is an undercurrent of change and transformation at work beneath the surface. What you perceive as stillness is often a period of preparation, a time when the foundations for the next phase of your journey are being laid. It's important to recognize that temporary situations often feel permanent because we become so immersed in them. When you're in the midst of a storm, it's hard to remember what the sun feels like. The storm clouds seem endless, and the rain feels relentless. But storms, by their very nature, are temporary. They pass, and when they do, they leave behind fertile ground, a fresh canvas upon which new growth can occur. The same is true for the challenges and struggles you face in life. They are not meant to last forever. They are meant to prepare you, to clear the way for something new, something greater. The feelings of frustration or limitation you may experience in your current situation are not signs of failure. They are signals of growth. They are the tension between where you are and where you're meant to be. That tension can be uncomfortable, even painful at times, but it serves a purpose. It stretches you, challenges you, and calls you to rise above your circumstances. Without it, there would be no motivation to move forward, no reason to strive for more. It's in this discomfort that you find the seeds of transformation. In these moments, it's essential to shift your perspective. Instead of viewing your current situation as a limitation, see it as a stage of preparation. Every experience, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, is a piece of the larger puzzle. The lessons you learn today, the skills you develop, and the resilience you build are all tools that will serve you in the future. Even setbacks and delays, though frustrating, are often blessings in disguise. They give you time to grow, to reflect, and to prepare for the opportunities that lie ahead. One of the most powerful things you can do in a temporary situation is to embrace it fully. This doesn't mean settling for less or giving up on your dreams. It means recognizing the value in where you are right now. There is always something to learn, always a way to grow, even in the most challenging circumstances. When you approach your current situation with curiosity and openness, you begin to see it not as a hindrance, but as a stepping stone. You realize that every moment, even the difficult ones, is part of a greater plan. Change, by its nature, takes time. Growth is not instantaneous, and transformation doesn't happen overnight. Just as a caterpillar must spend time in its cocoon before emerging as a butterfly, you must go through periods of waiting, of struggle, and of preparation. These periods are not wasted time. They are sacred time. They are the moments when the most profound changes occur, often beneath the surface, where they are not immediately visible. It's only later, when you look back, that you can see how every piece fit together, how every challenge and delay served a purpose in shaping who you are. No matter how difficult your current situation may feel, it is not the end of your story. It is a chapter, a phase, a moment in time. And like all moments, it will pass. What comes next depends on how you choose to respond to the present. Will you resist it, viewing it as a barrier? Or will you embrace it, trusting that it is part of a greater journey, one that is leading you to something more? The choice is yours, and it is in that choice that your power lies. The lessons hidden within life's challenges are often the most profound. yet they rarely reveal themselves in the moment. When you encounter obstacles, it's natural to focus on the difficulty, to feel weighed down by the struggle, and to wonder why it's happening to you. But life's challenges are not random occurrences meant to break you. They are intentional experiences designed to teach, refine, and strengthen you. Each obstacle carries within it a lesson, a truth that you need to uncover in order to grow into the person you are meant to become. And imagine for a moment that life is a master sculptor and you are its masterpiece in progress. The chisel doesn't strike the marble to destroy it. It strikes to remove what is unnecessary, to shape and reveal the beauty within. Each challenge you face is a strike of that chisel, carefully crafted to carve away doubt, fear, and limitation. These lessons may be painful in the moment, but they are essential for your transformation. Without them, you remain unshaped, unable to fully realize your potential. The process of learning from challenges begins with a shift in perspective. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? This simple shift opens your mind to possibilities and insights that might otherwise go unnoticed. It allows you to step outside of the immediate discomfort and view the situation from a higher vantage point. From this perspective, you begin to see patterns, connections, and opportunities for growth that were hidden before. The challenge itself may not change, but your relationship to it does. You move from feeling like a victim to understanding that you are a student and life is your teacher. Every challenge brings with it an opportunity to develop qualities that will serve you in the future. Patience, resilience, creativity, and empathy are often born from moments of struggle. When life tests your patience, it's not to frustrate you, but to teach you the value of persistence and the power of timing. When a situation forces you to be resourceful, it's not to overwhelm you, but to awaken your creativity and innovation. And when you face loss or hardship, it's not to punish you, but to deepen your capacity for compassion and understanding. One of the most powerful lessons challenges teach is self-awarenessness. In the face of adversity, you are often forced to confront parts of yourself that you may have ignored or avoided. These moments reveal your strengths, your weaknesses, and your true priorities. They challenge you to examine your beliefs, your habits, and the stories you tell yourself. Through this process, you gain a deeper understanding of who you are and what you are capable of. It's not always comfortable, but it's necessary. Self-awareness is the foundation of growth, and challenges are the catalysts that bring it to light. Challenges also teach you the importance of faith and trust, not just in a higher power or the universe, but in yourself. They remind you that you are stronger, braver, and more capable than you often give yourself credit for. Each time you overcome an obstacle, you prove to yourself that you can handle more than you thought possible. This builds confidence and resilience, creating a foundation for future success. It's not about avoiding challenges, but learning to face them with courage and the belief that they are shaping you for something greater. Another critical lesson found within challenges is the importance of letting go. So often, struggles arise because of resistance. Resistance to change, to uncertainty, or to letting go of what no longer serves you. Challenges force you to confront this resistance and ask yourself what you are holding on to and why. They teach you that growth requires release, that in order to move forward, you must be willing to leave behind what is holding you back. This process can be painful, but is also liberating. It clears the path for new opportunities, new perspectives, and new growth. As you navigate life's challenges, it's important to remember that the lessons they offer are not always immediate or obvious. Sometimes the meaning becomes clearer only in hindsight, when you look back and see how each piece of the puzzle fits together. The struggle you face today may be the very thing that prepares you for an opportunity tomorrow. The pain you endure now may be the experience that gives you the strength to help someone else later. The lessons are always there, waiting to be discovered if you are willing to look for them. Growth often requires discomfort, and transformation rarely comes without a price. It's easy to wish for progress to come effortlessly, to hope for change without disruption, but that's not the way life works. Growth demands something from you. It demands that you step outside of what is familiar, that you let go of what is easy, and that you embrace the challenges that stretch you beyond your current self. These challenges are not punishments, they are opportunities. They are the proving grounds where your potential is tested and your character is forged. Imagine for a moment a seed planted in the ground. At first, it is buried in darkness, surrounded by soil, unable to see the light. It could easily remain in that state, comfortable in the safety of its cocoon, but the seed's purpose is not to remain dormant. Its purpose is to grow, to push through the weight of the soil and reach for the surface. That process is not easy. It takes effort, persistence, and a willingness to break apart the shell that once protected it. Yet without that struggle, the seed would never become what it was meant to be. The same is true for you. The discomfort you feel when faced with a challenge is not a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's a sign that you are growing. It's a sign that you are pushing against the boundaries of your current self, breaking free from old limitations and stepping into something greater. Growth requires discomfort because it forces you to confront the unknown, to step into uncertainty, and to take risks. It demands that you leave behind the safety of what is familiar and venture into new territory, even when it feels uncomfortable or frightening. One of the greatest barriers to growth is the tendency to cling to comfort. It's natural to seek out what feels safe and familiar, to avoid the situations that challenge you or push you out of your comfort zone. But comfort, while soothing, is also limiting. It keeps you where you are, preventing you from reaching for more. True growth happens when you are willing to let go of comfort and embrace the challenges that come your way. It's in those moments of discomfort that you discover your strength, your resilience, and your ability to adapt. The discomfort that comes with growth often manifests as fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of the unknown. These fears are not obstacles to avoid. They are signals to pay attention to. They are indicators that you are stepping into new territory, that you are reaching for something beyond your current grasp. Instead of allowing fear to hold you back, use it as a guide. Let it remind you that you are on the edge of transformation, that you are in the process of becoming more. Growth also requires a willingness to fail. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of the process. Each time you fall short, you learn something new about yourself, about your abilities, and about what it takes to succeed. Failure is not an endpoint, it is a stepping stone. It teaches you resilience, humility, and perseverance. It reminds you that progress is not linear, that setbacks are a natural part of the journey, and that every misstep brings you closer to your goal. The discomfort of failure is temporary, but the lessons it provides are lasting. Another essential aspect of growth is patience. Transformation doesn't happen overnight, and progress is rarely immediate. It takes time, effort, and persistence to see the results of your hard work. During this time, it's easy to feel discouraged, to question whether the struggle is worth it, but patience is what allows you to endure, to keep going even when the path is difficult. It reminds you that growth is a process, not a destination, and that every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your potential. Discomfort is not something to be feared or avoided. It is something to be embraced. It is the sign of life in motion, of progress being made. It is the evidence that you are growing, changing, and evolving. When you learn to lean into discomfort, to see it not as an obstacle, but as a necessary part of the journey, you unlock your true potential. You begin to understand that the struggles you face are not barriers to your growth. They're the very things that make it possible. They are the catalysts for transformation, the moments that shape you into the person you are meant to become. The path to becoming more often involves shedding what no longer serves you. This is not an easy process, and it often feels like loss rather than gain. Yet letting go is one of the most profound steps in transformation. It requires trust, courage, and an understanding that to receive something greater, you must first make space for it. This act of release is not a surrender to defeat, but an opening to possibility. It's a conscious decision to clear away what is limiting, outdated, or unaligned with your higher purpose so that you can step fully into what lies ahead. Letting go is an act of trust, not just in life, but in yourself. It requires you to believe that what is ahead is worth more than what you're leaving behind. Often, people cling to situations, habits, or even identities out of fear of the unknown. There is a comfort in familiarity, even when that familiarity is no longer beneficial. It feels safer to hold on to what you know rather than risk stepping into something uncertain. But growth demands that you take that risk. It demands that you have faith in the process, that you trust the unfolding of your life, and that you release your grip on what no longer fits. The process of letting go begins with awareness. You must first recognize what is holding you back, whether it's a belief, a relationship, a habit, or a way of thinking. This recognition is often uncomfortable because it forces you to confront truths you may have been avoiding. It asks you to be honest about what is no longer aligned with the person you are becoming. Once you see clearly what needs to be released, the choice becomes yours. Will you hold on out of fear, or will you let go and trust that life is guiding you towards something greater? Letting go is also an act of courage. It's not easy to release something that has been a part of you, even if it's no longer serving you. There's a vulnerability in saying goodbye, in acknowledging that what once worked for you no longer does. But this vulnerability is also a source of strength. It becomes a master tool that leads to a rediscovery and authenticity. It takes courage to admit that you've outgrown something, to step away from the familiar, and to embrace the unknown. This courage is what allows you to move forward, to make room for new opportunities, and to open yourself up to greater possibilities. One of the greatest challenges in letting go is dealing with the emotions that come with it. Loss, even of something that no longer serves you, can bring feelings of sadness, uncertainty, or even fear. These emotions are natural, but they are not reasons to hold on. Instead, they are signals of the transformation taking place within you. They remind you that you are in the midst of change, that you are shedding old layers to make room for new growth. By allowing yourself to feel these emotions without letting them dictate your actions, you create space for healing and renewal. Letting go is not just about releasing the external, it's also about releasing internal limitations. The beliefs you hold about yourself, the stories you tell yourself, and the fears that keep you small must all be examined and, when necessary, released. These internal shifts are often the most transformative because they directly impact how you see yourself and the world. When you let go of limiting beliefs, you open the door to new possibilities. You begin to see yourself not as a product of your past, but as a creator of your future. This process of release is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing practice. Life is dynamic, and as you grow and evolve, you will continuously encounter situations, habits, and beliefs that need to be reevaluated. Each time you let go, you create space for something new to enter your life. Each release is a step toward becoming more, toward aligning more fully with your purpose, and towards stepping into the life you are meant to live. You may feel letting go is ultimately an act of empowerment. It's a declaration that you are not bound by the past, that you are not defined by what you've been through, and that you are free to create a new reality for yourself. It's a reminder that holding on is not the source of strength. Strength comes from trusting yourself, from embracing change, and from believing in the possibilities that await you. By letting go, you reclaim your power, align with your purpose, and open the door to a life of greater meaning, fulfillment, and growth. When life begins to prepare you for more, you may notice that the opportunities, relationships, and circumstances you once relied upon start to shift. It can feel unsettling, as though the ground beneath your feet is moving, but this is not a sign that things are falling apart. Instead, it is evidence that something new is being built. Life doesn't allow you to remain stagnant when you're destined for growth. The very fabric of your reality begins to adjust, to align with the greater vision being woven for you. And this process requires you to navigate the space in between, the space where you're no longer who you were, but not yet who you are becoming. This space often feels uncomfortable because it's filled with uncertainty. You might find yourself questioning what is happening or why things are no longer working the way they once did. The relationships that once felt fulfilling may start to feel strained. The roles you've played may begin to feel too small, or the goals you once pursued may lose their meaning. It's not that these things are bad or wrong. They simply no longer align with the version of you that is emerging. Life is calling you forward, asking you to release what no longer fits so that you can step into a more expansive reality. In this transitional space, patience becomes essential. It's tempting to rush the process, to try to force clarity or grasp at answers, but growth cannot be rushed. Transformation takes time, and the space in between is where the real work happens. It's where you learn to trust, to surrender to the process, and to allow life to unfold in its own way. This is where you begin to cultivate resilience, strength, and faith in yourself and the journey ahead. The discomfort you feel is not a sign that you're off track. It's a sign that you are in motion, that you're being prepared for something greater. This preparation often involves a dismantling of the old to make way for the new. It can feel like loss, but it's actually creation. Just as a caterpillar must dissolve completely to become a butterfly, you too must let go of old identities, beliefs, and patterns that no longer serve your growth. This process can feel like chaos, but within that chaos is the birth of something new. It's in these moments that you learn to see beyond the surface, to recognize that what feels like an ending is actually a beginning. The loss is not permanent. It's a necessary step toward becoming more. This in-between space also requires a deep sense of trust, not only in the process, but in yourself. You may not have all the answers, and the path ahead may not be clear, but you must trust that you are being guided. You must trust that life is orchestrating something greater than you can see, and that every challenge, every delay, and every setback is part of the preparation. This trust is not passive, it's active. It means showing up each day with the willingness to do your part, to take the next step even when you can't see the whole staircase. As you navigate this transition, it's important to pay attention to the opportunities and lessons that arise. Life often speaks to you in subtle ways, offering signs and guidance that point you toward your next steps. These moments may not always be grand or obvious. They might be a quiet nudge, a feeling in your gut, or a chance encounter that shifts your perspective. Trusting these moments and acting on them is a way of participating in your own transformation. It's a way of co-creating your future with life, of saying yes to the opportunities that align with your greater purpose. The space between who you were and who you are becoming is where growth happens. It's where you learn to let go of the old, to embrace the unknown, and to step into your power. It's where you realize that the discomfort you feel is not something to be avoided, but something to be embraced. It's a signal that you are being stretched, that you are growing, and that you are being prepared for more. This process is not easy, but it is necessary. It's in this space that you discover your strength, your resilience, and your ability to create a life that is aligned with your highest potential. When you are being prepared for more, one of the most profound lessons you learn is how to recognize your own worth and potential. This recognition is not about ego or external validation. It's about understanding the limitless capacity within you to grow, evolve, and achieve. Too often, people underestimate themselves, held back by fears, doubts, or past experiences that have led them to believe they are less capable than they truly are. Life, in its wisdom, begins to challenge these limiting beliefs by presenting opportunities, obstacles, and moments of reflection that push you to see yourself differently. It nudges you to understand that you are not defined by your circumstances, but by your willingness to rise above them. This realization often begins subtly with small shifts in perspective. You might find yourself questioning old narratives, beliefs about what you can or cannot do, about what is possible for you, and about the role you play in your own life. These questions can feel unsettling because they challenge the foundation of how you've been living. But within this discomfort lies the seed of transformation. The moment you begin to question the limits you've placed on yourself is the moment you start to expand beyond them. It's a turning point where you begin to see yourself not as a passive participant in life, but as a co-creator of your own reality. To recognize your worth and potential, you must first silence the noise of doubt and fear that often clouds your mind. This is not an easy task because these voices are deeply ingrained, reinforced by years of conditioning and external influence. They tell you to stay small, to play it safe, to avoid risks. But when life is preparing you for more, it begins to dismantle these voices. It places you in situations that require you to confront your fears, to step outside your comfort zone, and to trust in your own abilities. Each of these moments, though challenging, is a lesson, a reminder that you are capable of far more than you realize. As you navigate these challenges, you begin to see evidence of your own strength. You notice how you rise in the face of adversity, how you adapt and persevere even when the path is unclear. These moments are not accidents, they are intentional. Life is showing you what you're made of, reminding you that you have within you everything you need to succeed. This is not about external achievements or accolades. It's about an inner knowing, a confidence that comes from recognizing your inherent value and the infinite possibilities that exist within you. This process also requires you to let go of comparisons. It's easy to measure yourself against others, to look at their achievements, their paths, and their progress, and feel as though you're falling short. But comparison is a distraction, a way of taking your focus away from your own journey. Life is not asking you to be someone else. It's asking you to be fully yourself. Recognizing your worth means understanding that your path is unique, that your experiences and challenges are shaping you in ways that are perfectly suited to your growth. It's about honoring your journey, trusting your timing, and believing that you are exactly where you need to be. As you begin to see yourself in this new light, you also start to take action that reflects this understanding. You make decisions that honor your potential, that align with your highest self, and that move you closer to your goals. These actions, though they may seem small at first, are powerful. They signal to life and to yourself that you are ready for more, that you are willing to step into your power and take responsibility for your growth. Each step forward, no matter how small, reinforces this belief in your worth and potential. This recognition is not a destination, it's an ongoing journey. You will continue to encounter moments that challenge your perception of yourself, moments that ask you to rise higher, to dig deeper, and to expand further. Each of these moments is an opportunity to reaffirm your worth, to acknowledge your growth, and to step more fully into the person you are becoming. Through this process, you not only transform your life, but also inspire those around you to see what is possible when you recognize and embrace your own potential. As you reflect on this journey of preparation, it becomes clear that every challenge, every shift, and every moment of discomfort has been intentional. Life has been orchestrating a transformation within you, not to test your limits, but to expand them. You have been guided to release what no longer serves you, embrace the unknown, and trust the process of becoming more. This preparation is a gift, a sign that you are destined for growth, for purpose, and for a reality that aligns with your highest potential. Recognizing this truth requires courage and faith. It demands that you trust the timing of your journey, believe in your worth, and take action, even when the path ahead is uncertain. It is in these moments that you discover your strength, your resilience, and your capacity to rise above. Each step forward, no matter how small, moves you closer to the extraordinary life that awaits you. You are being prepared for more because you are capable of more. Trust that life knows what it's doing and lean into the process with an open heart and unwavering belief. Everything you've experienced, every lesson you've learned, and every step you've taken has been preparing you for the greatness that lies ahead. The path forward is yours to walk. Step into it with confidence, knowing that you are ready. Thank you.